60-year-old waitress is fired for helping owner disguised as homeless. Next day It was a bitter cold Monday morning in upstate New York. Snow drifted across the sidewalks and most people rushed indoors to escape the chill. But not Mary Thompson. At 60 years old, Mary had been waitressing at Danny's Diner for over 3 decades. Known for her warm smile and even warmer coffee, she was the kind of person who remembered your name, your usual order, and asked how your kids were doing, whether you were a regular or a first-timer. Mary didn't have much. Her husband had passed away 10 years ago, and with no children of her own, her life revolved around the small corner diner and its community. Every morning at 5:30 sharp, she opened up, wiped down the booths, and welcomed in the early risers and truck drivers who counted on her cheerful presence. On that particular morning, as she poured fresh coffee into mugs and placed toast on plates, the door creaked open. A man stepped in, disheveled, face hidden beneath a tattered hoodie. His jeans were ripped, his shoes soaked, and his hands trembled from the cold. He looked homeless. The diner went quiet for a moment. One customer scoffed and turned away. Another mumbled something under his breath. But Mary? She didn't hesitate. She walked up to the man and said gently, "Take a seat, sweetheart. You look frozen." The man didn't speak. He just nodded slowly and slid into a corner booth. Mary brought him a hot cup of coffee and a plate of scrambled eggs and toast on the house. He tried to protest, fumbling in his pocket, but she placed her hand on his and said, "Not today. Just eat, warm up." She even brought him an old pair of gloves she kept in the back for cold mornings. An hour later, a sharply dressed man in a suit stormed into the diner. It was the regional district manager. Behind him stood the same homeless man, cleaned up, standing tall, his eyes clear and piercing. The room fell into a hush. "Mary," the manager barked, "did you give free food to this man without company approval?" Mary blinked in confusion. He was freezing. He needed help. The manager scowled. "That's theft, Mary. You're fired. Clear out your things." Gasps echoed through the diner. The homeless man stepped forward. "Wait," he said calmly. "She didn't steal. She showed humanity." Everyone stared as he pulled out a business card and handed it to the manager. "My name is David Langston. I'm the new owner of Danny's Diner." The silence was deafening. He looked at Mary with a soft smile. "I've been visiting locations in disguise to see how staff treat people when no one's watching. You passed the test. With flying colors." Mary's eyes filled with tears. David turned to the stunned manager. "You're fired." The next day, Mary returned to the diner, but not as a waitress. She walked through the doors in a new coat, holding a clipboard. A golden name tag on her chest read, "General Manager." Customers cheered. Hugs were shared. And in the booth where the homeless man once sat, there was now a small plaque that read, "Kindness is always served here." Mary's story quickly spread across social media. News outlets picked it up. People from all over the country, America, the UK, Canada, sent messages, flowers, and cards to the little diner that reminded the world what true service and true kindness really looked like. She didn't do it for the recognition. She did it because it was right, and in the end, that made all the difference. Moral of the story: kindness costs nothing, but its value is immeasurable. You never know who's watching or who might be changed by one simple, selfless act.